Imagine waking up one day and realizing the life you spent decades building, the fame, the money, the awards, was also the very thing that cost you the moments that truly mattered. Noah Baumbach's J. Kelly 2025 is not just a movie about a movie star. It's a movie about memory, about regret, about the terrifying possibility that your best life might be the one you didn't choose. And today, we're diving deep into this emotional, painfully honest, and surprisingly funny character study, starring George Clooney in one of his most vulnerable performances in years. So grab your popcorn. This is the full story of J. Kelly, from the first shot to the final heartbreaking frame. The film opens with a brilliant Altman-inspired sequence, a massive studio lot, dozens of conversations overlapping, actors darting around, directors arguing, chaos disguised as art. And in the middle of it all is J. Kelly, Hollywood legend, aging, charismatic, exhausted, and trying to psych himself up for another day on set. He looks at himself in the mirror and whispers his bizarre mantra: Gary Cooper, Cary Grant, J. Kelly, Clark Gable, Robert De Niro, J. Kelly. It's funny, it's delusional, it's also quietly tragic. Because Jay is trying to convince himself he still belongs with the greats. And that's when the call comes in. Peter Schneider, Jay's old mentor and father figure, has died. Just like that, the Hollywood noise fades. J. Kelly, the man behind the myth, begins to unravel. At the memorial, Jay listens to stories of Peter's kindness and wisdom, and something breaks inside him. Every memory Jay has, every defining moment of his adult life, is tied to a movie set, not to his daughters, not to friends, not to love, but to roles. This realization hits hard. Baumbach uses a beautiful device here. Flashbacks that don't feel like flashbacks. They bleed into the present. Memories that Jay never stopped living in. Jay starts obsessing over the past, over the roles he's played, and the life he hasn't. While walking through New York, Jay runs into Timothy, Billy Crudup, an old friend from his 20s. Timothy doesn't smile. He doesn't reminisce. He doesn't congratulate Jay on his success. Instead, he tells him the truth. You stole my shot. My one chance. I hate you, Jay. Back in their early days, both auditioned for the same life-changing role. Jay got it. Timothy didn't. Jay's entire life began because another man's dream ended. The confrontation escalates into an absurd, almost comedic fistfight, two middle-aged men swinging like tired raccoons. But beneath the humor is real pain. This moment becomes the emotional spark that sends Jay spiraling into existential crisis. Jay's manager, Ron Sukinik, Adam Sandler, is the one constant in his life. Ron is loyal to a fault, protective, patient, and the closest thing Jay has to a real friend. But even Ron is starting to see the cracks. He asks Jay, "Are you running from something or running to something?" Jay answers simply, "Yes." This line sums up the entire movie. Jay isn't searching for meaning. He's running from the possibility he never had any. Jay suddenly decides he's going to Europe. Not for a film, not for an award, but to reconnect with his estranged daughter Daisy, who's traveling with friends. It's a desperate attempt to rewrite a story that has already been lived. On a train through Italy, Jay meets a new set of characters. Young backpackers, artists, wanderers. People who remind him of the man he once was. They latch on to him, partly because he's famous, but also because broken people tend to gravitate toward each other. Baumbach uses these scenes to show us something painful. Jay feels more comfortable with strangers than with his own children. One of the most powerful threads in the film is the way Jay revisits an old romance, a co-star from a decades-old film. He remembers falling in love with her. He remembers the warmth, the connection, the almost family they pretended to be on set. But now, older and weary, he asks himself, was it real for her, or was it just another scene? This question haunts him and becomes one of the film's central themes. Two people can live the same moment and walk away with two completely different stories. Baumbach uses clips from Clooney's real films to represent Jay's career. It's clever, but also unsettling, because unlike Jay, Clooney actually figured out his life. He became a star and built a stable family. Jay, however, is a man hollowed out by success. The contrast is jarring and intentional. Baumbach is asking, what if George Clooney had taken a different path? What if the fame consumed him? Jay Kelly becomes a ghost version of Clooney, a what-if life. And that's why it hurts. Ron eventually joins Jay in Italy, and this is where the film's emotional climax lives. There's a devastating scene where Ron, exhausted and heartbroken, finally asks, "Am I your friend, Jay? Or am I just the guy who fixes your messes?" Jay can't answer because he doesn't know. Sandler delivers his best dramatic work since Uncut Gems. His performance is raw, gentle, angry, vulnerable, all at once. Ron is a man who loves Jay, but also sees exactly who Jay is. And maybe that's why their relationship matters more than any of Jay's awards. The film builds toward Jay receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award in Italy. The moment should be triumphant. It should feel like a career being celebrated. Instead, Jay looks out at the applause, the admiration, the flashing lights, and feels nothing. His speech is rambling, confused, heartbreaking. He tries to express gratitude, regret, self-reflection, but it comes out fragmented, like his memories. He ends with, "If I could go again, can I have another take?" The audience laughs, thinking it's a clever joke, but Jay means it. He wants another take at life, and he knows he'll never get it. After the ceremony, Jay finds Daisy. They don't have a dramatic reconciliation. They don't hug or cry or declare forgiveness. They simply walk together, side by side. No camera, no spotlight, no script. For the first time, Jay is present, not as a movie star, not as a legend, but as a man trying, finally, to show up for someone he loves. The film ends quietly, with a long, unbroken shot of Jay and Daisy walking down a narrow Italian street, moving forward, one step at a time, because that's all any of us can do. Jay Kelly isn't a movie about Hollywood. It's a movie about life, about the moments we cling to, about the versions of ourselves we wish we could redo, about the people who stay with us, even when we don't deserve them. George Clooney delivers one of the most introspective, vulnerable performances of his entire career. Adam Sandler steals every scene he's in, and Noah Baumbach gives us a film that may not reach the cinematic heights it's reaching for, but touches something real, that quiet fear inside all of us, that maybe the best version of our life is the one we didn't choose.